That one time I was a baby, that was cool.
We are throwing back to the fetus stage of life.
Don't move! It's throwback time!
Everybody poops the book.
Everybody poops!
Let's talk about it. I want this to be a poop open zone.
Everybody poops. It's true.
Girls don't poop, right?
I poop.
I actually bought it last weekend for my boyfriend because I just moved in with him and he has been acting as if he does not poop, and I wanted him to feel safe in his humanity to use the toilet. He's a 35-year-old man.
Everybody poops. Everybody. Except me.
I have a few people that have it on the back of their toilets. Also, hey, sign in. When you poop, clock in and clock out. So you can leave people notes so you can read it while you're pooping. I would have it as a coffee table book in my house. There you go.
Oh, pacifiers.
Pacifier.
Binky!
Binkies.
Binkies.
I call it a binky. A binky.
I ate a Binky. I miss it.
I called it a baba, and I don't think anyone I know calls it that.
We didn't call it pacifiers in this chapter of my life. We called it a tete because I only spoke Spanish and everyone around me spoke Spanish.
I want my Binky.
I did not have a specific pacifier that I needed in my mouth to feel safe. That came later in life. I grew up sucking
I never had a pacifier. I suck on my thumb. I don't know if that's because I was poor or what.
I didn't suck my thumb, I sucked these.
Really? I've sucked my thumb.
Yeah,
I still
didn't
do
suck the
suck my
thumb.
thumb.
I was sucking on my thumb literally till I was 12. And the only reason I stopped sucking my thumb was because I got a spacer in the top of my mouth and my thumb wouldn't fit. And so I had to stop. Sorry, what were we talking about? Pacifiers?
I did have like an irrational connection to it, like an oral fixation to it. I sucked on a binky until I think I was 9 and went into a grocery store and a stranger was like, "You're too old for that."
Okay, you know what I actually did the other day? I went to the dollar store and I bought a bottle because I remember when I was a little girl, my mom took the bottle away from me. I told her, "You just wait. When I'm 18 and I can make my own rules, I'm gonna go back to drinking out of the bottle." And I remembered last week. So I went to the dollar store and I bought a bottle and I'm gonna start drinking my morning lattes in my bottle. I literally did this last week. I'm gonna go back to it and see what happens.
Blankie.
Yeah, my blankie.
Oh, yeah.
I had a blankie.
Oh, I had a good blankie.
I still sleep with my blanket.
at a down comforter.
No, we were too poor to have special blankets. My whole family shared like one blanket.
That was my security blanket. Like a full-blown down comforter, and I would bring it with me everywhere. But it was like, you know, like a queen-size down comforter. It was like 36 pounds of just goose down.
I only will wash my blankie in Tide Original because that's what my mom used to wash it in and I want it to smell the same, and it's the only comforting reminder I have that maybe it's okay.
It was blue, it had a hot air balloon on it, and it was very soft and smelled like vomit, but that's not my fault. My mom should have washed that.
I just wanted it all the time and forever, and when she came to throw that blanket away, it was probably the worst day of my life. I haven't forgiven her since.
We used it in my cat's crate one time and my cat peed all over it.
And it was all torn and I carried it everywhere. I actually have it right here.
Oh, the mobile?
Mobile?
Mobiles? Mobiles?
Mobile, those little things that you would just, as a baby, just sit like a cat and you would just like, "Aw."
Yeah, that didn't work so much for me. I was like, you're clearly trying to distract me, you guys, and I will not.
I didn't even have my own crib. Didn't even have my own bed till I was 18 years old.
It was basically what iPads were for children back then, because now people just put an iPad up there and you just put something on and kids are
Hulu
just like,
Plus.
yeah.
Actually, I should get one for my apartment. I feel like it would put me to sleep. That wouldn't be creepy if guys came over and I had that above my bed, right?
Yeah, onesies.
I was all about that jammy hype.
Oh, I miss, and I want them now. Like the onesies with the little, like the big zip up and the footsies. I had the footsies on it and they were the best.
Onesies are cool now, but when you were a kid, you hated the onesie. It was like a pajama trap. You couldn't get your own clothes off because you didn't know how to do buttons yet. Am I the only one who liked being naked as a kid, I guess?
Onesies are making a huge comeback.
They never went out of style.
I own many adult onesies.
I have about 3 in my office as we speak.
I do miss being a baby because you could wear pajamas everywhere. No matter what you did, you were always in jammies.
It was like an event going to bed.
I spent a good 3 years of my life only wearing those in public. All family vacation pictures.
I will ride or die for onesies. Tickle-Me-Elmo!
Tickle-Me-Elmo was this craze. It was an obsession. Everyone had to have it, and nobody ever realized how creepy it actually was. Think about it. Terrifying.
I do remember the craze of it, and I do remember people being like, I gotta get the Tickle-Me-Elmo.
People at stores got her trying to get this damn thing.
Everyone had a Tickle-Me-Elmo in 6th grade. I was like, what is wrong with you? We're 12, we're cool. We don't play with those dolls. Then I got one because apparently it was cool.
People went to the hospital so that their child could have 5 minutes of fun with some toy that a week later they were gonna throw away.
I didn't actually understand how hard it was to get at the time. Now I realize it was a hot commodity and my dad probably had to stand out in the rain and snow for hours to bring it to me. But that's like everything in life.
None of these kids really gave a shit if they had a Tickle-Me-Elmo or not. It was like keeping up with the Joneses of baby toys.
This is where poor folks have a lot more logic. You don't go get them Tickle-Me-Elmo. You give them a can of beans and you tell them play. That's it.
Oh, CNC.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing where you would spin the wheel and it would land on something and then you would repeat it. It's really just setting children up for gambling.
I did have a CNC.
I will still to this day go to the store and hit all of them as I walk down the aisle to make the little thing spin.
The cow goes.
The cow goes, moo, and then you would have to like say it with it. Stupid toy.
Pig goes. Chicken goes.
But I only played with the CNC when my dad would take me to his best friend's house. I'm literally just now remembering this. They would put all of the kids in the kitchen and we would sit underneath the sink and play with the CNC, which doesn't seem safe now because everything under the sink is also chemicals that it says keep out of reach of children. But that's what happens when dads are in charge.
My favorite show when I was a baby was Wishbone.
Hands down, Sesame Street.
Arthur.
Rugrats.
Bear in the Big Blue House, Roly Poly Oly,
I loved Barney and Blue's Clues.
and
So old.
Molly with the little clock. I know what you're talking about, but those were all like when I was like 15. That was my childhood.
PBS had great lineup of like Arthur, the Magic School Bus, Wishbone, who taught me everything I need to know about literature.
I loved Mr. Rogers.
I found Mr. Rogers really aggressive / a little creepy, but I was all about the Cookie Monster. I was obsessed with Sesame Street. I wanted to live on Sesame Street.
Even when I was like in college, I'd be watching Sesame Street in the morning.
My parents couldn't even get me in front of a television. Like I wasn't entertained by television, but my mom knew that as soon as she put Rugrats on, the theme song, I'd just be like, boom, he's on the floor with a pillow looking at the TV. And I could stay there for hours.
And Winnie the Pooh. I used to always eat Ritz crackers while I watched it.
I was a huge Blue's Clues fan. I was way too old to be watching it. I was like in 7th grade.
We just figured out
Blue's Clues. We just figured out Blue's Clues. We just figured out Blue's Clues.
Cause we're really smart.
Here's the mail, it never fails.
It makes me want to wag my tail.
When it comes, I want to wail.
Meow. God, I love that show.
I still do that song when I get mail.
First stuffed animal, I don't know, like a gross bear? Yeah, like that.
As a bear, I called him Boo Boo Bear because I would just randomly put Band-Aids all over him. As an adult, now I realize it's kind of like I abused my bear, which I don't want to condone.
I had a stuffed animal and it was a lamb chop, and his name was Choppy.
A black bear named Rebecca. She wears Hello Kitty underwear and she is sitting on my bed right now.
I was adopted, so like the first thing my parents gave me, I guess, when they got me from the airport were Minnie and Mickey. Like a little baby Minnie and Mickey that I still have somewhere today.
I didn't have just one stuffed animal that I would sleep with or anything, but I had probably hundreds.
A baby doll. And it was weird because sometimes he would be my baby and then sometimes I would make out with it under the covers. Is that weird?
Those are some of our baby moments, but what are your favorite baby memories? Put them in the comments below.
Want more Throwback? Of course you do, so click left for 10 awkward celebrity yearbook photos, or click right for the hottest pop songs of 2016 on Debatable.